Goodness gracious, look at that fish. Bigger than I thought he was. Well, told myself I wasn't going to come down here and get distracted with these things. But here we are, getting distracted with large heads, which is fine. There he goes. That's probably a 2-pound fish. Nice fish. Was fun to catch. But anyways, y'all hang on. I'm Rodney with eFishin. We caught some smallies this morning. We'll show you what we did. That's what we come down here for, but it kind of got slick, calm. Sun come out a little bit. It's starting to cloud up a bit. We may go chase some smallmouth a little bit more, but we may see if we can't catch another largemouth too. Y'all hang on. Hey, if you hadn't hit that subscribe button, go down there and hit it. Leave a comment too. We'll talk to y'all later. We're out. We'll see you in a minute. So here we are. It's first thing in the morning. I'm idling out of the marina that I started at. And when I was idling, this point here on the left, there was just an explosion of bait fish. And I was like, well, wasn't necessarily where I was going to start. But let's give it a try. So I got my swim bait out there. And I'm still getting depth finder turned on and everything else. And thought, well, we'll just stop here and fish it for about 10 minutes and see what happens. Look at that, guys. Right off the bat. Look at that one. Check that out. Probably a 2-pound fish. Right there. About that. Check that out. Woohoo. Number one. Get that one on swim bait. Let's get another one. Not a real big one. He's scrappy. That. How's that? Number two. There's another one. That, another 2-pound fish. There he is. There's another one. There's 3. So the moral to this little story right here at the beginning of the day is pay attention. If you see some bait getting worked over on a point and it's not necessarily what you was going to do, stop and give it a few minutes. You might actually be quite surprised, as I was. I think I ended up catching, I don't know, 5 or 6 fish off this. I don't think I'm going to show you every one of them, but it sure was fun. So basically what I was doing, on this little point here, I'm keeping the boat in about 15 foot of water and throwing it up there in about 5 and letting that bait hit the bottom, and then just doing a slow wind back to the boat, and they were crushing it. I want my swim bait. How's that? There's number 4. Gotta get another swim bait. Another one, folks. How about that? There we go. He ain't real big, but he was a fighter. Pulled hard. See if we can get another. So by now, I'm kind of dialing in on this pattern of fishing this swim bait on points, and I'm not really fishing anything else. So what I'm doing is I'm just point hopping at this point today. It's come pretty clear that they're on points, and or there's enough fish on point to catch. That's what I'm keying in on. So keep that in mind. If y'all start catching fish down there, pay attention to where you catch them. You catch them on points, or catch them in cuts, or on bluff walls, or on banks, or whatnot. Keep that information in your head as you go throughout the day. It might help you put a few extra fish on the boat, especially if you can dial in and get a pattern going. Strong one. Anyways, if he's a keeper or not, he's a strong fish. Wow. 2-pound fish. That was a strong one there. Oh, come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Got yourself unhooked. That's nice. Let's show you the camera. Look at that. 1.5 pound fish. That one was strong there, boys. Pretty though. Woo. Tell you what, folks, these are some of the strongest fish I have fought in a while. Look at that one, how pretty he is. He's probably 1.5 pounds, but my goodness, he pulled hard. Look at that. Woohoo! I think they're done spawning. They sure look like it. All right. get another one. That's a big one there, people. That's a big one. Oh my goodness. Fish. Oh my goodness. Look at this one. Woohoo! Look where he's got it. Y'all don't think he wants that? Look where it's at. Oh my goodness. Shoo. Look at that thing. That's a fat one there. All right, here we go. How pretty that thing is. Whew. Well, let's talk about my setup here that I'm using. So to start with, the rod. It's a 7-foot G Loomis GL2 medium heavy fast action rod. Now, I went through several rods on swim baits, and this is the one I kind of settled in on because it's a little stiffer than some medium heavies, but not stiff as a heavy is. At least it works for me. Somebody else might have a better ideal out there, but that's what I use. And the reel I'm using is a Lew's tournament series reel, and it's a 5/6 to 1. Now, that's kind of slow, and it's like, well, I want to crawl that swim bait. I don't want to burn it, so I have a hard time slowing down. So that's what I use. Is I use a 5/6 to 1, and then the line I'm using 12-pound P-line CX, and sometimes I'll even drop that on down to 10-pound. And jig head is a Do It Molds walleye head, a 1/4 ounce and it's got a owner 5318 hook in it, and that's what I'm using. Look here, guys. Look at this bruiser. Look at that. That thing. How pretty and dark it is. Woohoo! Oh, there it goes. I don't know how many we've caught, but it's been fun on this swim bait. We'll have to get some more swim baits, I guess, because that one done ate it. So during this retrieve, kind of pay attention to what my hand is doing there on the reel handle when we make this cast here. So we're gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna wind it. I threw it right up on the bank, and I wound it off, and then I let it fall and hit the bottom. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do 2 or 3 turns and stop it, and then 2 or 3 more turns and stop it. A couple more turns. And I'm gonna do that all the way back to the boat. And the reason I'm stopping it is as you're winding that swim bait, that thing's gonna start coming up on you. And I want that thing to kind of stay about that 5, 6, 7 foot depth range there. That's where I'm getting the bites at. Check that one out, kids. Look at that thing. Look at that. Another 2.5 pound fish. Well, we're here at the end of the day. We've caught quite a few fish on swim baits today. We used Kitex, mainly on a 1/4 ounce head. Used different ones, different colors. It didn't really seem to matter. Started out with like a 3.8 fat impact swing shad, I think is what it is. Maybe in Tennessee shad, I think is what the color I started out with. Ended up with electric shad, but as the day went on, I ended up going down in size. So I went down to, I think it is just a 3.8 swing impact shad, not the fat one, so the skinnier one. And I also used a 4-inch easy shiner. And I think I threw sexy shad in that for a little while. And I think I caught a couple on it, then caught a couple on that electric shad. It was not too much to it. Keep the boat in about 15 foot of water, throw it up into about 4 or 5 foot, let it hit the bottom, and then just do a slow wind back. Real easy, and they'd crush it. And if you found one, you usually catch 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 off of the point. So there you go. They're on points. Throw that swing or swim bait up there. I'm sure other swim baits will work too. You just gotta put it in front of one. Keep moving. Look for some bait. There wasn't any bait on a point. I didn't catch any fish. So there you go. And another thing, I think the smallmouth have done spawned. All them fish look pretty skinny. Look like they've done their thing. So next couple weeks they might be putting the feed bag on for post spawn. Anyways, leave me a comment down there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, especially if you pick something up. I'm Rodney with eFishin. We'll catch y'all later. We're out.